Who's got the
We're
DOJAD?
on
Is that you, Chris? It's
the
not me.
Dojad.
The DOJAD. I said the dad joke.
Dojad. Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Hello, my friends.
Thank you for joining us for the PEBCAK Podcast, a weekly information security show featuring some all-around good people. It is week 37 of 2024. I'm Chris Louie, and happy birthday to you. We are entering the time of year where 9 out of the top 10 birthdays of the year occur. With me,
Not mine.
Chris's birthday though, right? Chris?
coming up,
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
What day?
that's
What
why
day,
you looked this up.
what day is that again, Chris?
What day, year, and social security number again? I forgot.
Yeah.
name of the first pet.
That's right.
With me, I have my co-host, the Hot Dad, or should we call him Mountain Man Brian, or MMB. How's the view from up in the mountains of Arizona?
This week was pretty cool, man. We went up to Greer, and it is a no stop sign city. Like, it's just like you pull in, you just drive for like 5 miles, and then the road just ends. That's it. And there's like no commercial stores or restaurants, and so yeah, just way up in the hills and staring at the wildlife, and heard the elk that night.
Did you say no stop signs?
No stop signs, no street lights, no stop signs. Yeah.
Wow.
Just all flat.
So what does everybody do? Just kind of just meet each other in the middle and kind of wave at each other and let each other go?
I'm not even too sure of the population. It's more of like a vacation spot, right? A lot of little mini cabins everywhere. But yeah, we go up there once a year with our family, and yeah, I think we had 15 people this time, so it was pretty wild. And we only did one night. We were supposed to stay a little bit longer, just didn't work out. So it was a lot of driving, though. 4 hours each way.
That is a lot.
Wow.
Well, it's worth the view, I'm sure.
Well, 3.5 hours if you don't have an electric vehicle. We had to stop and charge for 24 minutes, like idiots.
It's not so bad.
No, it's not too bad, actually.
And we have Glenn Medina, or should we call him Mooncake Glenn, or MCG. Did you stock up on your mooncakes yet?
Well, no. So I didn't realize there were many variations like you had pointed out. I had some friends from the city come out yesterday, and I invited them and their families and their kids to come over and swim, and they brought mooncake, and I sat there and I was like, oh God, I've had this before and I didn't like it. This time I had it and it was actually really good. So I was like, I wonder what the difference is. And then I like I said, just trying to find out. Like I said, I know I'm Asian, but I'm not Chinese, and I didn't know mooncakes were a thing, other than the fact that I always see them around, once a year wherever I go when I visit
I've never
Asian stores.
even heard of that. I've heard of moon pies, but a mooncake, that's different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it the year of the moon for you guys?
Every year is the year of the
According
moon.
to Chris, it's that time of the year. Yeah.
Celebrate
It's
the
that time
Mid-Autumn
of the year.
Festival to thank the woman in the moon for a bountiful harvest, and then we eat mooncakes.
Oh, what did you guys harvest this year?
I'm harvesting corn and tomatoes this year.
And how many meals would that
Corn.
actually make you in your giant garden?
2 or 3, probably.
Yeah.
All right.
Really? How many stalks of corn did you plant?
We have 4 stalks. Each stalk gave about 2 to 3 ears this year.
Okay.
I hope your rabbits eat it every day.
We do.
Traditionally, I heard. Yeah.
Yeah, we grow.
That's good.
Well, okay. So more than 2 or 3 meals. We grow lettuce and other things to make salads, and the rabbits eat that too, and parsley.
Traditionally, though, it was my understanding that there's only one good ear of corn that comes off of every stalk, and numbers 2 and 3 aren't yielding as big as number 1. Is that true, or are they
There's
all
no
pretty
way that's
much
true.
the same size?
They're all the same. You just have to pick
They're
it
all
at
the
the
same.
right time. Yeah, you can't be too early. You can't be too late.
It's an old
Well, you
wives'
can't-
tale.
You can't do that though, right? On a farm, you can't pick too early because they just take a harvester and just harvest them all at the
Pretty
same
much,
time.
yeah. Then you QC it
Those are
later.
GMOs, though.
So that
Maybe.
Monsanto corn.
Maybe. Yeah.
Is your corn yellow or is it like a different color?
It's yellow corn, normal looking corn.
Oh, okay.
He's got that blue cheese looking corn from Mexico. So.
we think like it's always yellow, right? But then you got eggs that are sometimes orange depending on where it's manufactured. So
it's true. There's white corn.
The yolk.
There are such thing as
there's white corn.
Yeah, there's different varieties.
No, I had
there's only white corn and yellow corn, right?
No,
blue
there's
corn.
You ever
blue
seen
corn chips?
There's blue corn. Yeah.
That's just not ripened corn.
Blue corn's a real
Does
thing,
corn even
right?
ripen, guys? I don't think so. Oh, Lord. Here we go.
Well, no guest this week, as you can tell, just us hosts. These recordings always sneak up on me, and I always forget to recruit a host. We did switch the day that we record, so since then I've been not finding guests as often. Combined, we have decades of information security experience here, not just to educate, but to entertain. We've got 4 awesome stories for this week, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. This week, we're going to talk about cheating spouses, hacking OnlyFans. For our third topic, we explore a Warren Buffett quote and close with iPhone talk. For our first topic, we have a pair of stories that actually happened to me, so I thought it was super interesting to see the articles that these types of scams are on the rise. Sextortion is not new. It's been around for more than 6 years and occurs when someone blindly emails you and says they have explicit photos of you, or they say that they recorded you watching porn through your webcam, and they will send that video to your friends, family, and coworkers unless you pay them an extortion fee. It was highly lucrative back in 2018, but less successful as of late, as people got wise to this kind of scam. As with all bad things on the internet, these scammers have pivoted and are now using spouses' names and Google Street View photos of your house in these scam emails. People who reported this scam on Reddit are saying that these scammers know maiden names, second last names, and even pet names, which are not published anywhere on the internet. Some internet sleuths figured out that this non-public information was entered on the wedding planning website, theknot.com, even though theknot.com has not responded to questions if they had been hacked.
So I have to assume anytime you have a space in between your talking, a new line, that's cue for us to start talking?
It's usually a natural break.
All right, I thought you were just going to keep on going. I'm with Glenn, man. Release the videos. I want to see this.
Release the Kraken.
Yeah.
Remember the OJ trial? Release the tapes. Release the tapes.
Release the tapes. Whatever, the knot.com. That's almost as bad as the slash.org. Or slash.org. Was that the name? Is that even still
slash
around?
dot? I remember that was a thing.
Yeah, slash dot. Yeah, but it was intentionally worded that way. That would be confusing for people to try to type it in.
Slash
like
dot
we all
dot
got
com.
it, right? But everyone else is... Yeah.
But I think this goes back to just operational security, right? Just don't reveal too much on the internet, and that's what we were trying to do to you earlier, right, Chris?
You try to out me.
Knowing that it's your birthday month, yeah, and trying to get you to reveal your social security number.
Show us, Chris. Yeah. I don't know. Like, my wife, so we were sitting at the dinner table with all of our family this weekend, and we're like Googling everyone's name, and like the kids had like no social media presence, but my wife surprisingly had almost nothing. She's like, "Oh no, I went through. I was watching that one guy talks about hacking all the time. How you can remove your results from Google search." Yeah. And so I know exactly who she's talking about. And this guy, I feel like he's just pandering to idiots. Like, we should just make an entire podcast. I'm like, check out this USB cable. It looks like a regular USB cable, but I can hack your computer. This is a flipper zero. It's illegal in all the countries. And you can clone and open your door. I'm just like, dude, it's so dumb. Like, the stuff he talks about is just so dumb. But the guy that's interviewing is like, what? You mean you can get $1 million for a 0 day? How many of those have you had? Well, I mean, I haven't had any yet. But if I did, I'm just like, man, the what ifs on this dude are insane. But he did a good job helping out my wife remove her from the Google search results. So there's that.
They have services like Delete Me that will go out and proactively send all these requests to have your information removed. I actually get that free through one of my credit cards, and they actually do a pretty good job of it. They say we found you on 10 or 15 of these people search sites, and those people search sites have a method to have you removed, and this service just automatically sends reports there to have them removed. And I think this actually ties back to a story we did maybe 2 weeks ago when that background check company got breached and 2 billion records got leaked. They said a lot of the people that submitted requests through Delete Me are not in that breach, that they were successfully removed and they didn't get their information leaked.
Well, it looks like you've already removed all your presents, haven't you, Chris?
I should have I have a common name, so it's probably hard to find me.
If I do Chris Louie, you're the third thing that pops up. No. 5, 6, 7. 7th, 8th thing that pops up. Your little side profile, I think, that you use for Zoom.
But most people spell his name with an IS, right, instead of an IE.
Yeah.
Oops, did I say that online?
Glenn, you're missing out, bro. You could be an internet F boy with the pictures I get when I Google your name. Jesus.
Yeah.
Hey, watch it.
Brian Deachin.
There's literally
Glenn
nothing on
Medina
here for
a little more obscure, but Chris Louie I think is pretty common.
It's probably since I got banned from Facebook. They took all my names and they took everything down.
They might have,
so.
Yeah. You shouldn't have been posting those threats
I still don't
online.
know why I got
Glenn.
banned. I was only talking about Brian, so shame on me.
My name is like an evolution of just some dude getting older. Gosh,
Well, remember, there's already some guy you're already getting someone else's Brian Deach's email, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
No, it's it was the Brian Inc. one, but whatever. We'll leave it at that.
You got a doppelganger out there.
Yeah, it was funny. Somebody was at I think they were at, I think Black Hat, and there's a picture at CrowdStrike. He's like, "Is this you?" Like, I'm in the background. I was like, "Yeah, that's actually me. Thanks for looking out, bro." Like, I'm just like casually walking by the CrowdStrike booth, and he spotted me.
Yeah, you're very recognizable.
We love you, Jeff. I think it was the glare in the picture off the dome. Anyways, this just goes back to just like, let people do their thing. Who cares? You're not going to get anything from us. If it sounds too good to be true, it's a scam. And if it sounds like they actually have dirt on you, it's a scam. Just walk away.
Well, it could also be, you could be questioning yourself like, oh my God, I did that one time. I think I just got caught. So people maybe with a guilty conscience or had done something guilty to begin with, those are the ones that really fear. But like, I look at that and go, I know I'm not doing anything that crazy on my iPad.
Release the tapes.
Yeah, release the tapes.
It's just up.
What about you, Chris? What do you think? What's your... You say panic, or do you say just like whatever, blow it off?
Oh, I'm a seasoned security professional, so I'm just like whatever, just blow it off. And I have pretty much, I think, all of my webcams covered anyway, so that's the fake news. But my wife has been getting these emails that include my name and a Google Street View of our house. But it's also, when you think about public records, at least here in California, real estate records are public records. They could easily find you and do a Google Street View of your address of the properties that you bought. And then typically married couples buy properties in both their names, so they would know your spouse. So I would probably get the equivalent email with my wife's name on it with the Google Street View on it, and it makes it a little bit more threatening, but it's still not that hard to do.
True. Do you ever feel like it could be targeted? Like, we know that Glenn's got some beef with you. You think he's just out there screwing with you guys?
He could be. It could be. I made a lot of enemies through the years, so maybe that's come back.
Maybe Evan. Evan would probably be that guy.
He could be. He's a bit of a troll.
Speaking of that, do you guys run your devices in what's that mode? Lockdown mode? I started doing that, and that I find that's a little bit cumbersome at times, but I think it does put some ease in mind about things that show up on my phone.
You can't watch
not 100%
in-flight movies.
Lockdown mode anymore, though. But at least the old iPhone is. It's crazy because like Chris shared like pictures of me. I'm like, I don't know what he's talking about. Like, it's not here. It's not even an option, right? And then I went over to my iPad that I had taken out of lockdown mode. It's like I had a notification. It's like Christopher Louis, Eliana, all my family, like all these shared albums came through. I was like, oh my God, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, that's the one thing they take away from you in lockdown mode. wouldn't think that that's a huge vector. I'm trying to think of how somebody would socially engineer shared photos to take over your device. Like unable to enroll in MDM profiles. Yeah, I can clearly see how that could be a problem. Or not opening link previews or turning up the JIT engine in Safari. Like those are all valid attack vectors. But how can someone attack you using shared photos? That's a big mystery to me.
They throw in a QR code, you scan it, boom, compromised.
Well, you can't scan a QR code that's on your phone unless you scan it from another phone.
That's what I'm saying, from another phone. Like, you're like, what the hell is this? Why did my daughter share this QR code with me?
Yeah.
Scans the thing,
You
boom, breach.
scanned it from your iPad or something.
All right.
That's not on
Fair
lockdown
enough.
mode.
You know, Chris says he's a security professional. The guy's so stupid. Am I right? Gosh.
Right.
Smarter than your average bear, Brian.
Gosh. Bear isn't a... Never mind.
Well, seeing that email that
No,
says
you're
your
good.
husband Glenn is cheating on you, I hacked his computer and stole proof, but you have to click on this link and register to see the full report. Now it's going to be accompanied by a photo of your actual house from Google Street View, just yet another way that they're trying to social engineer you into clicking this phishing email or getting you to send them some money.
Chris, was it you that posted a picture on random? It was like, I used to think hacking was like the Matrix style stuff, but now I figured out it's just sending
To
emails to
old
boomers
people.
and getting them
Yeah.
to...
to click on links.
I was like, that is brilliant. And I was like, and then I think it was you. I was like, that makes sense.
Well, if we go back to watching The Beekeeper,
That's all we need. We need
Oh,
Jason
God.
Statham, the
the
one-man
movie
army.
that Bride hates. Yeah, that's right.
Did I mention Tim Cook at all? Not Tim Cook Apple, but Tim Cook at Zscaler.
No.
So he was walking in front of my wife and at SKO, and she was trying to figure out like how to get from the hotel to the thing. So she just went up to him, started talking to him, and he's just like giving her the information like how to get over there. And he's just like, you know what, you'd be really good at social engineering. She's like, I don't know what that is, but I'll tell my husband. So
Yeah. Tim Cook, not Tim Apple.
not Tim Apple, just Tim Cookie Monster.
Yeah.
Good dude though. He helped her get to the place.
He is a good dude, and I'm sure he's tired of hearing all the Tim Apple jokes.
Yeah.
Just like we have a Michael Schofield on our team, and I'm sure he's tired of hearing all the Prison Break jokes too.
Oh, I opened with that. I was like, Michael Schofield, I like you in Prison Break. He's like, You can just hear the dead in his voice. He's like, ugh, here we go again.
Yeah. Congratulations, you're only the 1,000th person to tell me that. For our second topic, you guys know my two favorite types of stories. Number one is super criminals, and number two is...
McRib. You love the McRib.
That's true. Okay, three favorite types of stories. So the McRib is number two.
Oh, and Taco Bell pizza. Taco
Taco Bell
He
pizza,
does
I do
a
like
Taco Bell
that.
pizza.
Yeah.
It's a Mexican pizza. Excuse me. Get it right, guys. Extra tomatoes. Okay, what is your favorite?
Right. Second favorite type of story, hacking the hackers. I love hacking the hackers
Yes,
stories.
baby.
In this case, hackers are targeting other hackers with malware that claims to have the capability to steal and verify OnlyFans login information from victims. However, the alleged password stealer and verifier is itself an information stealer. I guess it does exactly what it's advertised to do, which is steal passwords. For those of you living under a rock, OnlyFans is a popular subscription-based adult content platform where creators can earn money from users who pay for access to their exclusive content. Creators...
Oh, wait, time out. Is that true? Is it just adult content? I thought they had a legitimate business thing there too.
Don't you have an OnlyFans account, Brian? I thought you did.
I most certainly. I have a fans only. I just sell fans.
I'm a platinum subscriber to Brian's OnlyFans. So the background of that is it started as, I think, musicians. It started for musicians where only their fans would join this, and they would get like exclusive songs and tracks and concerts and chat sessions. And then somehow it got co-opted by all these adult content creators. And then OnlyFans like, well, we don't want to be an adult content platform. We want to be a music platform. So they threatened to ban it. And then all the OnlyFans people says, well, we're just got to find someone else then. And they flip-flop. So now they allow adult content again.
What? People are willing to pay for porn instead of music? Oh my gosh.
Who would have thought?
Dude, There's there's this like kind of a heavy white guy, always has like a mustache, like long blonde hair. And he interviews people all the time. I can't remember his name. The font's too small, guys. I can't read it without my glasses. But anyways, and it's like usually
casting couch, dude.
No, no, it's like you'll have a celebrity on the left-hand side, and then like there's some random dude in the middle that will be in an outfit, just like eating copious amounts of food. Like hopefully, I'm drawing the picture of who this is. And I was going through like a YouTube short, and I saw him, and he's like talking to this chick, and he's like, oh, is it true you made $50 million on OnlyFans? And like she can't even put together a sentence, bro. Like literally the dumbest person I've ever seen, ever, like in person or even on the internet. It was really interesting. Like he's so funny, but she was so dumb that it just made the entire interview so uncomfortable to watch. But I don't understand. She made $50 million in 1 year. Like had the receipts and everything. Like they're showing screenshots of like.
Did you say million?
$50 million. Yeah, that's just one person, dude.
That's legit.
Wow.
Well, I have to find the clip and share it for science reasons, of course.
All right, it's nothing inappropriate, to be honest with you. But the guy, he had I think Morgan Wallen on there, and he's like, "Oh, is it true you're gonna do like another album?" He goes, "Yeah, like it's a double, 36 songs." He goes, "We're never gonna hear the end of this, are we?" They just like talk so much crap. It's so funny, but yeah, I'll have to find it for you.
All right, I'll link through it if Brian's able to find that one. Creators on OnlyFans can share videos, images, messages, and even live streams with their subscribers in exchange for a monthly fee. Given its popularity, OnlyFans accounts often become targets of threat actors who attempt to hijack them to steal payments, extort the account in order to pay a ransom, or simply leak the private photos. And these can be very, very private photos. Hackers create tools called checkers to verify if large data dumps have valid credentials in them, saving them time from having to try each login one at a time. The so-called OnlyFans checker turned out to be an info stealer and not a real checking utility. Who would have thought there was no honor among thieves?
Tell you what, I did this back in the day. I went out on LimeWire. I think I renamed, I can't remember what it was. Maybe Cult of the Dead Cow, something like that, like a backdoor. No, it was Back Orifice. That's what it was. Yeah.
Oh, God.
And I renamed the executable to MSN Password Stealer, and it's threw it up there. And like so many people downloaded it over the weekend. It was like 36 people. Are you kidding me? And had full access in. Oh, Lord, it was a good time. So, yeah. Hack the hackers. We'll get them, baby.
Love it.
Had a lot of fun with that back orifice, huh, Brian?
You know, it was dumb stuff, right? Like you could open up the CD tray, put an image on there that they couldn't click off, print, all kinds of good. You know, I remember just going through and searching for .tax files for TurboTax, and then just screwing with people,
Filing fake returns on their behalf.
No, it was more of like, dude, I know what you're doing. Oh, you can turn on their webcam without them knowing, and just be like, going back and forth. They're just sitting there flipping you off. They would reboot the computer, right? And they think they're clean, and then it just comes right back up. I'm like, I'm still watching you.
The old trick I remember
What a nice
for
guy.
LimeWire and all those services was search for a DSC_star.jpg, and then because people, the purpose of LimeWire was you'd share your My Documents folder, and there'd just be people would share my photos in there. So you search for that, and DSC is the prefix for digital camera photos that you actually take. So you just see so much like amateur adult content if you ever search for that, because it's just people using their own digital camera, making their own adult content.
Houston, we have a pervert. I know I did not do that. So it was just Chris. But I did buy old USB thumb drives and then use undelete to see what was on there. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, people that thought they got rid of
so many spreadsheets with passwords.
Yeah.
You never got auto run on any of those USBs that you stuck in?
It didn't matter, even if I did. Like, it wasn't it was like a separate PC.
He air gapped it.
I think it wasn't, oh my God, it wasn't even Ubuntu. It was what the heck was it? It was like maybe FLAC, PHLACK, the Perfect Linux Assault Kit. I can't remember. It was like you bootable off of a CD, and you do all kinds of fun stuff with it.
Like a Linux Live CD. So it'd be completely loaded in a RAM.
Back before Kali was out there.
Yeah. Good old Kali. Or Backtrack. Yeah. It was Backtrack before Kali.
Yeah, Professional Hackers Linux Assault Kit. FLAC. That's what it was called.
Nice.
It was badass though, man.
Hacking the hackers.
Hacking the hackers, baby.
The other one was you would call it Linkin Park num.exe, and everyone would try to download the song, but it was just an executable.
Yep.
Well,
now that we've done enough to incriminate ourselves, let's wrap up this subject.
Well, the info sealer is most known for stealing two-factor authentication codes, cryptocurrency wallets, passwords, cookies, and credit cards stored in the victim's browser and file system. People think that they're getting some kind of OnlyFans checker, and then they end up getting all their stuff dumped. So again, use that OPSEC. Don't use your personal computer for all your hacking needs, and you won't run into issues.
This is a great idea. There is a cyber warfare range right by my house. I found it from one of our partners, like resellers. And it's like, oh yeah, we got this, and it's just as you would imagine. Like you get to go in there, and you have immunity to whatever you do within the confines of that wall, as long as you share whatever you do with these three-letter agencies that shall not be named. So we're gonna go check it out. Go have some fun.
Nice.
Do you have one of those in your guys' area?
Not that I know. We have the thought police here in California. So even if you think about hacking people, you might be committing a crime. Pre-crime.
Pre-crimes.
Yeah. Pre-crime. No. This is one so you can go after, like, the North Koreas of the world and Russia. Just whatever you guys want to do, go have some fun.
Do your worst.
Yeah, do your worst, baby. So it's kind of like a gray hat, right? Because you are being a black hat, but you have to turn it over to the good guys.
Yeah. Well, it's for a good cause. As long as you follow the rules of engagement.
What's always funny is when you find like high-level executives there that are like complete just uber nerds that are like they're like keyboard warriors. Like, what? Get out of here! Like you hire and fire people and have to report your numbers at Wall Street, and you're in here. It's cool. All right, go off.
Some people dig that stuff.
Yeah. That's when you have a whole new respect for him, because sometimes you just see some crazy stuff. You're like, oh, okay, this dude's chatting with someone in a completely different language.
That's why Brian Krebs learned Russian. He wanted to be able to communicate with Russian hackers and read some of those underground hacking forums.
Makes sense.
Be a useful language to learn. For our third topic, this story was too hilarious not to report on this week. Warren Buffett has a famous quote where he says, "If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you'll be working for the rest of your life." North Carolina musician Michael Smith was intent on making money while he slept, and as a result, he was indicted for collecting over $10 million in royalty payments from Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Music, and YouTube Music using AI-generated songs streamed by thousands of bots in a massive streaming fraud. The scam works exactly as it sounds. The musician, and I put that in quotes, generated AI music and published it on multiple streaming platforms. He then used bots to stream the music through VPNs to hide their true location. At its peak, he had over 1,000 bots streaming with an average royalty rate of 1/2 cent per stream, which translated into annual earnings exceeding $1.2 million. Smith now faces charges of wire fraud, conspiracy, and money laundering, each carrying a maximum sentence of 20 years in prison.
That is crazy. I've seen some people that share their royalty checks. Like, they're not very big. Like, they have like maybe, I don't know, 1 million subscribers, and it's nowhere near like 1.2 million over the course of a year. That's crazy. Like, you're in the thousands of dollars. It's not until you get into the 3 to 5 to 10 million subscribers that you probably making some decent coin. You can retire.
You mean to tell me this guy wasn't smart enough to not make it 1.2 million? Like, he couldn't go like, hey, a couple 100,000 would be okay, but not 1.2 million. He'd be like top charts, right?
He probably ramped it up. No, he's not at top charts yet. I don't think
No.
so.
But 1.2 million in
Streams?
in royalties, though, that's a lot. Yeah, in
It is,
streams.
but
That's got to be a lot.
He created thousands. I think it was thousands of AI generated songs and published it under different names, different accounts, because these platforms have pretty good anti-fraud, anti-bot tracking capabilities. And this guy tried to just stay one step ahead of them by circumventing them and created probably lots of artists, lots of different accounts.
Who do you think figured it out? Spotify, Amazon, Apple, or YouTube? I bet you it was Spotify.
I would probably say Spotify too, because the other three companies, those are their side gigs, and Spotify, that's their only moneymaker. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Spotify that caught them. And Spotify actually caught another group. So there's a very similar scam back in 2014. There's an indie rock band, and they published an entirely silent album on Spotify. Like, it was just I think it was like a 31-second clip, because you have to listen to a song for 30 seconds before the artist collects a royalty. So they made the song 31 seconds, but it was completely silent. There's just nothing in it. And they asked their fans to just loop this song 24/7, and they actually earned like $20,000 from it before Spotify. Spotify shut them down, but they didn't charge them with fraud.
That's wild. Have you ever gotten a notification, like in your Spotify year in review, that you were like one of the top listeners of a particular artist? Like maybe you were like the first 10 people to listen to a song that was released?
I don't have Spotify, so I couldn't tell you.
Oh, okay.
I've gotten
What if Apple does? What do you use for listening?
Use Apple.
Oh,
Use Apple.
okay.
Yeah.
I've gotten top.
I don't have money like
I can't
big
remember.
bad Chris over here that's got Spotify and Apple.
I don't have Apple.
Sorry.
I only use Spotify.
Oh, but you have the subscription to Apple Fitness, right? Doesn't that get you everything?
No, I canceled that since I have a gym membership now. I don't have Fitness
cancel
Plus
Apple
anymore.
one.
Yeah. The only Apple one I have is the iCloud, because stupid Apple, or maybe it's brilliant on their part, their iCloud tiers is 200 gig, which is not enough for a family, and then the next is 2 terabytes. So it's like, if you had a 1 terabyte, that'd probably be fine. Even a 500 gig would be fine, but no, it goes from 200 gig to 2 terabytes, which is 2,000, roughly 2,000. So I have to subscribe to that.
I'm pretty sure we're on 3 terabytes over here.
Yeah.
Take a lot of photos, Brian.
Yeah, 200's not enough. Yeah.
And I hate it. My wife has so many, and she's just always recording. Yeah, I remember I saw a 6 terabyte coming out. I was like, couple of
Soon,
years,
Brian.
I can do that one as well.
Soon. Well, at least
Not too far.
hopefully you don't have bandwidth caps there in Arizona.
Nah.
But pretty clever.
It's such a funny problem to have, though.
Yeah,
Go
pretty
ahead.
clever scam this guy ran, though, and I don't know how he got caught, but eventually he did. People figured it out, and they charged him with fraud. It wasn't just a slap on the wrist and a simple TOS violation to kick him off the platform. No, they want to make an example of this guy. He get up to 20 years in jail.
I mean, this is super creative, but I do have to ask, like, did he actually commit a crime here? Is there anything in there that says you can't create a music and have bots listen to it?
Oh, it's probably the fact that he had multiple bands created from it, right? So it looked like fraud to begin with. Unlike the indie band who just asked their audience to increase their play
Yeah,
rate.
I think that's the difference.
No, I'm
Yeah,
trying to
the
create,
Indian band.
AI generated.
Yeah, the indie band asked their fans to do it, so these are real people doing it. The guy in trouble here created bots, and I think that bot thing might have crossed the line.
You don't think Sony Music comes out there and has like a team of engineers that really push a song to number one, or an album?
Probably. I don't think they would do it by bots. They probably like hire an army of people to do it, and they pay people to listen. That would be
Same
my
thing.
guess.
You don't
It's a
think-
bot. Just a
You
human
don't think
bot.
Apple has bots?
Everybody has
I don't
bots.
know. I'm sure there has to be something in the terms of use that you can't do that.
Yeah, clearly. There's terms of use, and then there's a crime. Like, did this guy pay taxes on it? I'm assuming he had to pay taxes because it came from a company. They probably sent him a 1099. He would have had to pay tax on it. But it was like things like wire fraud and money laundering. Maybe he didn't report it properly. Or who knows? Or they're just throwing the book at this guy and they want to make an example of him. Like, don't do this.
Look, if they can't get certain people for regular crimes, what would make you think they'd get this guy for this type of crime? This is like pretty ridiculous, right? He didn't hurt anybody in this process.
Well, if you read the article, he allegedly stole money from legitimate artists that should have been getting paid.
Yeah. Okay, great. No one still got
I know.
hurt.
It's not like it's a zero-sum game, right?
Compared to car theft in San Francisco, you know, unsanitary usage of the public streets,
The sidewalks,
toilets, which is really which is disgusting, right? That stuff that could like leaving needles on the side of the road or in parks or on the beach. That stuff's nasty. That stuff actually has a health hazard. This guy didn't hurt anybody, right? So, yeah, this is where I go liberal on you guys on this topic.
Well, I'm on the same page as you.
Just let this one go.
Picking on a brilliant
Glenn.
guy.
Just kick him off the platform and let it go.
Yeah, exactly. Kick him off. Can't do it again, right? Well, I guess he creates another bad with different names. Yeah,
hire him and have him go.
I think the only thing this guy messed up was he made it too big. He went too big,
Too close to the sun.
So if he would have just kept it under the radar, maybe $250,000, 300 at the most, no one would have noticed.
He got too greedy.
Yeah.
The downfall of a lot of these cyber criminals.
Yeah.
My
It's
wife
too
was
good to be true. Yeah.
My wife's like, hey, you know that you were working out next to someone at the gym the other day? It's like really popular. I was like, no, I have no idea. And so she goes online, types it in. It's like this husband and wife. Seen neither of them in my entire life, but apparently, like they're like a younger couple, and they're on YouTube. I'm probably on the other ones as well, but on YouTube like 3.6 million, and
it's a lot of subs.
It's a lot of subscribers. Yeah, they live over here in our neighborhood, and then so it's like she was showing me some of the videos. I'm like, I was like, every video is like this, like the husband and wife doing pranks on each other. I'm like, this is totally staged. Am I crazy? And I'm just like, whatever. But like they got popular because of for whatever reason. So of course today I've never seen these people in my entire life. I actually see them, and I recognize the husband right away. Freaking, of course, I think he's taller than me, so I hate him already. And his wife is there, and I was like, go figure. I've never seen him. I see him today, and they're doing their thing. And so then I leave, and sure enough, the person that has the only Cybertruck in the parking lot was them. And these people are like always going on like a crazy international vacations, like Japan and New Zealand and Europe. And I was like, oh, all right. So now we know.
Now I know.
So apparently 3.6 million is enough to probably keep you at home and not have to do anything but go to the gym and travel the world.
Yeah, you have to keep making
I
content.
think just
Their
one.
boys.
I could take just one. I don't need a lot. Well, split 3 ways, that'd be 333 a piece. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we can finally monetize our channel.
but would Terry Davis split it with us evenly, or is it because he's the moderator for 9 out of 10? He'd keep the 10% and take 40.
Right, you got to take out 10% for
No,
the big guy.
Yeah.
He'd take 10%, and then the other 90 would be divided up amongst just me and you, Glenn.
Yeah, there you go.
He's an all-around good guy, right, Chris?
He is.
Yeah, take out expenses and my management fee.
We pay the
All right,
same
Chloe.
fees. What are you talking about? What's going on?
Just you pay a sports agent. A sports agent takes 10%. Right?
Do
At
we
least
each get our
this
own
guy right
manager?
here.
Is that what you're talking about? We each get our own.
Yeah. Sadly, my management fee is 100x what yours is, so just keep that in the back of your mind. All right.
Those are hilarious.
For our last topic, and it'll be a rotating topic every week. This week, we're going to talk about our iPhone 16 predictions. It's funny because we're actually recording this podcast as the Apple event is going on, but I want to get our hosts' predictions and opinions if they're going to buy the new iPhone. For those of you out of the loop, on Monday, September 9th, Apple is hosting a, quote, Glow Time event where they're expected to release the iPhone 16 and the Apple Watch Series 10.
So it comes out whether or not, I don't care. So I went 3 days. Again, I wasn't exercising, but I just had my Apple Watch Ultra. I don't even know what version it is, and it went the entire weekend without being charged. So I don't need to do that.
You have the one.
And then as far as the iPhone, I have the 1.
Yeah, you bought it at the same time as me, so you have the 1.
Okay, so I have the 1. All right, Neo. And then, I'm going to stick with my iPhone. But my prediction is the new iPhone will be faster and smarter than any previous generation before. And you'll still be able to make phone calls and take pictures.
Wow.
And it's was it 10% yield or 15 or 30% faster? Blah blah blah. Yeah,
Real bold predictions there.
Nothing that will make me want to buy one. That's for sure.
Is it my imagination, or maybe even Chris had mentioned this, because I was going to trade mine in because my battery's getting ready to die. Like every 4 hours, I just lose that much power. Is it true that you think there's going to be an AI chip in this, and so that way it can actually process locally?
So that's my prediction. So the iPhone 16, my prediction is no major updates. It will get a faster processor. I think they're coming out with the A18 Bionic processor, and it's going to be optimized for Apple intelligence, not artificial intelligence. And AI, it's not AI. AI is Apple intelligence, and it'll have an AI core or cores that are going to do all the LLM stuff locally, because Apple's highly sensitive about user privacy, so they want to do as much as they can on device.
So they're bringing Siri to life then, right? So she's going to be on your phone, literally.
You're going to be on your phone and actually intelligent for once.
Yeah.
Deep inside you. Yep. It's gonna be great.
In your pocket.
In your pocket.
In
There's
your
no pocket in the middle, Glenn. No pocket in the middle.
Hey.
I'd have to really see what Apple Intelligence could do that make me want to actually lean in on that.
Yeah.
I don't think we're there yet.
And whether or not it's
why
going
don't
to be
you lean
available
in?
at launch, because sometimes it'll be Apple Intelligence available January 2025.
Why don't you guys lean in, and then I could just get your 15 and use that instead of having to go buy a new one.
That's true. I'll sell you my 15 at a good price.
Wait, no, not yours, because you like to get the larger form factor.
Oh yeah, bigger is better, Glenn.
I have the larger one too.
What's that? You have the large form.
The big one as well. Yeah.
Oh God, yeah, no, thank you.
You're old, Glenn. You need the big one for your
I used
eyes.
I used to have the big one, and then it's too big.
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
Not my style, man. Not my style,
Guys,
anymore.
I got some reading glasses, and the first time I looked at my phone, I was like, "Oh my God, the screen on this thing is beautiful." I was like, "This is what people see?" I was blown away. I was like, "Wow, that is sexy."
Oh, wait till you have to have cataract surgery, then all the brightness comes back.
Oh God, I hope not. Have you had cataract surgery?
No, but I've heard from folks that it actually does wonders.
Dude, back in the day, this well before Jackass and Can't Kill Yourself stuff. Like, we used to think it was funny to do. I forget what we called it. It was BAMF shooter. I don't even remember. But it was basically it was like taking a shot of tequila. But what you would do is you would squirt the lime juice in your eye, shoot the tequila, and then snort the salt. And I gotta tell you guys, I did so much damage to myself back in the day. It was terrible.
Older Brian's paying for younger Brian's mistakes.
Yeah. We were actually, where it started was we were at Rubio's, and my brother-in-law at the time, he was trying to squirt some lime into his taco, and it shot me right in the eye, and I fell out of my seat. I almost thought I almost died. And then I was like, what would be fun is we mix some alcohol and salt into this, guys. And then here we are.
That's like the engineer speaks. Wonder if that would happen every time. Let's give it a try.
You're right about the Air Max Pros, by the way.
Yeah, so Brian's reading the notes and jumping ahead, but while we're still on the iPhone talk, I think nothing.
I thought we were talking about all things.
It is
Apple.
It is.
Jerk.
So there's Apple Intelligence. The one thing I wanted to bring up was how useless Siri is, and because I don't. Maybe it might still happen to Brian, definitely not to Glenn, but I'll have my kids ask me some random question, and I know a lot of random trivia, but there's certain things I don't know. So they'll say what's the U.S. state that has the least population density? I'm like, well, I think it's Wyoming, but let me check. Then instead of asking Siri, I just pop open the ChatGPT app, I ask it, and it gives me the answer immediately. But how cool would it be to just say, "Hey Siri, what's the?" And then you ask the question, and then it actually gives you a correct answer instead of, "I found this on the web."
That would be awesome. If it could just integrate with your Chat GPT, that would be the better, instead of and actually have a conversation with it, right? Like, hey, set up a meeting for me and do all these things and do all the associated level of, I guess, what you call bots, right?
Yeah.
Kind of be your personal assistant.
Integration,
That would be awesome.
yeah. Like book me a trip to Cabo, and I want to stay there 5 days. Give me a fancy resort and with no kids. And then it just says done. They have like a TripAdvisor plugin or something.
I'd like to be able to get to a point where I don't actually have to interact with the phone itself by display. Like, say, hey, open up Audible, take me to chapter 34 and start reading, right? Or actually start me off where I left off, or play this book that's in my library. That would be cool. Or map me to this using Waze versus your
stupid Apple Maps app.
Or stupid Apple Maps. Yeah, exactly. That type of interaction would be key.
Yeah, it'll all be in the details. We'll see how good Apple Intelligence, because Siri, that was what was promised us with Siri, but there's so few integrations. It's completely useless. I'd never use it.
So when Siri actually started doing that whole thing, don't listen to my conversation, Apple Watch. So when Siri started doing that stuff with the web results, do you know that Google actually saw an impact to their overall searching over the course
lower,
of
lower, higher.
They went down lower. Yeah, like it was.
Yeah.
It actually impacted them huge, and so I think Google spends, what was it, like $10 billion a year to be the default search engine.
It's a lot. It's between 10 and 30. I can't remember the exact number.
Yeah, makes you wonder, like, when would Apple be like, oh, let's create our own search engine?
Well, that's why Google paid them. It's not worth it for Apple to create their own as long as Google's paying them. But now that they have this antitrust lawsuit, Apple might have to.
Apple might have to do what?
Create their own search engine.
Make their own search engine.
Yeah, because if Google's not allowed to pay them anymore, if they lose this antitrust lawsuit, then Apple has no reason to keep Google up. They'll partner with Bing or DuckDuckGo or create their own.
Why would it, I don't understand. What's the antitrust here? Antitrust would be having your own search engine built into the phone.
The Google is being targeted for an antitrust lawsuit, saying they're too dominant in advertising and search. And one of the pieces of evidence is not only does Google dominate on Android, but Google dominates on Apple too, because they pay Apple. So they might, if they lose the case, they might say you're not allowed to pay Apple to do this anymore.
This is communism. No, it's not. What is this? Marx. This is nonsense. I feel like they should be allowed to do that. As much as I don't even like Google, like, this is nonsense. Yeah. Dang, look at Glenn. Glenn's looking jacked. You been doing some push-ups, buddy?
Yeah. No, just wearing a tighter shirt. So.
He's wearing that compression shirt.
That's right.
Sun's out, guns out. He looks a little bit more lean, though. Look at him, dude.
Yeah.
Good job, man.
It's working out for sure.
Thank you.
All right, well, speed through the last couple. Apple Watch Series 10 is their 10th anniversary of Apple Watch. No, I'm sure there's going to be nothing breathtaking, nothing groundbreaking. Maybe new sizes, and the rumor is they'll have sleep apnea detection, which makes sense. You wear it in your sleep, it tracks your heart rate, and then it has a microphone, so you can sit here if you're having sleep apnea. So that's probably going to be the next. No Blood O2 sensor, though, because they still have that Osimo lawsuit, but they could at least listen for sleep apnea.
Why don't they just pay that? Why don't they just settle and pay it and get it on their phone?
They're Apple. They don't settle. They don't settle. They crush the competition.
Guess not.
They rather just prolong this until the other side runs out of money.
Yeah.
So my son and my little brother, they love watches and stuff, and I'm curious, do you think Apple could actually do something that would make a watch? Although I know they did, like, was it Hermes or something like that? They've done a couple Hermes, yeah, and they did like an actual gold watch. But like, to me, I'm like, that's not enough of a draw. Do you think they can actually do something on an Apple Watch where you look at that and be like, yeah, this is gonna be worth $5,000 today, and then in 10 years it's gonna be worth $20,000, like a Rolex or something like that?
No, it's because all the
technology
digital components inside. Yeah.
Those people that bought those several $1,000 Hermes Series 0 watches are completely useless today. It's only worth the gold that it's made in.
Yeah. So,
Was it a gold bezel, and then, or was it a special?
I think
clasp?
the case is actually gold. I believe. I think the case was actual gold. The special leather band, and then the clasp was solid gold. So I mean, the band you can use, but the case itself, I think, was gold. But inside, it's still a Series 0 or Series 2.
So there's nothing they can do to make it more sought after then?
No, because technology. I mean, the chips in it are going to go bad, and it's time to refresh.
Battery will go bad.
I can tell you this much. This is going to be my last Apple Watch that I'm probably going to buy.
Last iWatch.
Oh yeah.
What are you switching to then?
Last iWatch. I think I'm just going back to. I'm going to go back to a regular Casio G-Shock.
Yeah.
Because it makes no sense to spend $800 every 3 years on a watch when, just because the battery dies and then the technology just fades away and it just becomes unusable. And that's a pretty bad investment if you ask me.
Well, you've heard it here first. Glenn is retiring in 3 years. That's why he can buy a new watch and then he's done. I'm with you. If I didn't have a job, I wouldn't need this.
No, this is the first step of this transformation to a flip phone only.
Yeah.
All right. Well, speed through the last one. AirPods Max. I think they're overdue for a refresh. There have been recent price drops, and it's the fact that it's the last Apple accessory they still sell that has Lightning. So I bet they'll absolutely have to refresh the AirPods Maxes this time around.
That doesn't affect me as much because I got 50,000 freaking Lightning cables around my house, in the cars and everywhere else.
Yes, but soon in the EU, they're going to have the common connector. They're not going to be able to sell them anymore in the EU until they have the USB-C.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they're going to have to do it sooner than later.
This is a gimmick. Then USB-D will come out. Like, all right.
Got to get all the cables.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's 1 billion times faster than USB-A.
Yeah.
Great.
It'd be great if they just update the form factor, but they keep the same form factor, but update the guts of it, right? Like the
that's like Thunderbolt
transmission speed.
Yeah, it's the USB-C form factor, but Thunderbolt 4 is like blazing fast. So Apple is good on that front. Well, we continue to get great comments about our dad joke of the week.
Dad joke of the week.
This week, I'm up. I was going to cook alligator for dinner, but then I realized I only had a crock pot.
Wow.
Stupid. Same animal. Just kidding. We love it.
All right, to wrap things up.
But that was vetted by his daughter, so it's like we'll say it's okay.
Delete those spouse cheating emails. OnlyFans hackers are getting hacked. You can't scam the streamers, and you can't scam the scammers. What's that thing? You can scam the scammers, and buy the iPhone 16. That's all I have for this week. We hope you enjoyed it. Oh, no, it is you can't scam the streamers. What am I talking about? You can't scam the streamers. That was our story number 3. That's all.
Are you saying you can't scam the scammers?
Yeah, you can't scam the streamers. It was the streaming story. I remember now.
Leave this mess up at the very end. So people can be like, please end this podcast now. I just want to hear Glenn say bye, Felicia.
That's all I have for this week. We hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Find us on LinkedIn. Links will be in the description. Follow us on Instagram at PEBCAK Podcast. Thank you to our listeners and subscribers. Rate us 5 stars in the iTunes Store on Spotify and left us a review. We appreciate you all spreading the word to help grow the show. The best way to find us is to search for the PEBCAK Podcast on your favorite podcast listening app. By co-hosts Brian Deitch and Glenn Medina, I'm Chris Louie. Thanks for listening. We'll see you all next week, and as always, have a nice day.
Bye, Felicia.